What if I told you I had a video of you committing a crime, and it's a crime you know you didn't commit? What then? Hi, I'm Northern Virginia criminal defense attorney Scott Nolan, and I'm going to talk to you about something I call always see the video. In 20 years of being an attorney, I have not once, and I mean not one time, seen a video in a criminal case where what was on the video is what the police claimed was on the video. When I was a beginning attorney, I had a young woman who was charged with grand larceny. The police said she operated with a group of thieves and that she would go into a department store and pick out the items that would be stolen, and then later somebody else would come along and steal those items. Now that sounded like a really weird system. Why didn't she just steal the items? But there you go. Their theory was she was some sort of mastermind. 2 police officers and a store security officer told me that they had seen her do this with their own eyes. Now that seemed fairly conclusive to me, and the prosecutor had made a reasonable offer in my client's case because she'd never been convicted of anything. And this was very early in my career, and I recommended to her, yeah, looks like you really need to take this deal. The police have multiple eyewitnesses to the fact that you've done this. And thank God for this young woman, because she changed the whole course of my career as an attorney. She looked at me and she said, Mr. Nolan, I'll do whatever you tell me to do, but I just didn't do it. And now I've had a lot of people tell me they didn't do it, but there was something about the way she said this that just alerted me to the fact that she seemed to really be telling the truth. So I went and talked to the police officers, and I said, look, I just want you to look down the hall at my client. Are you 100% sure that that's the woman you saw committing this crime? And they all said, well, of course, it's in the video. What? What video? I had filed for discovery. I had gotten discovery, but I had not been told there was a video. Okay, let me see the video, I say. And we go look at the video. What does it show? My client picking up a pair of boots, like anyone might in a department store, looking at them, setting them down, and leaving. 5 minutes later, a completely different person came in and stole the boots. I was livid. It did not show me what the police told me was on that video. Now, in that case, I don't know whether those police officers were just flat out lying or whether they were victims of confirmation bias where they saw what they expected to see. But I very nearly made the mistake of my legal career. And they very nearly let me by not telling me that there was a video in this case. I went to the prosecutor and I was furious, and she said, well, okay, I'll make you a better deal. And I, of course not. No. My client is walking out of here not guilty. End of story. And had that been the end of it, I would have said, well, all right, chalk that up to experience. But it happened again and again and again and again. To this point, I do not believe what any police officer tells me until I see the video. And frankly, never has the video shown precisely what they said it would. In another case, I was told that my client was the getaway driver for a gang that had brutally beaten somebody else. And they showed me a video, eventually. All you could see in the video was this van pulled up to a convenience store and a bunch of guys got out and allegedly beat somebody up. I don't know. I assume that part's true. But my client was in the back seat of the car the entire time. Never left the back seat of the car. Never got behind the wheel. I looked at the officer, incredulous. How could you tell me she was the driver? And his response was, well, she knew what was happening. So? First of all, how do you prove that? And even if she did, so what? It's not a crime. I've had officers show me a video that proved my client was shoplifting, and all I saw was my client looking at an object and putting it down. And they said, oh, well, he was cutting objects out of the package. I said, the video doesn't show that. Well, yeah, but he was doing it. You have a video of this dude touching the thing and putting it down. I could go on for hours. Never has the video shown exactly what the police said. What's the purpose of telling you all this? Only that when people are accused of a crime, sometimes it's true. Usually it's true. Let's be honest. Usually it's true. But sometimes it ain't so. And sometimes they think it's so, so they say it's so, but they can't prove it is so. That's what an attorney is supposed to do. Look at the evidence, ascertain whether or not it is what they say it is. And folks, I'm here to tell you, if you're ever on a jury, you need to know that sometimes the evidence ain't what they say it is. That's all I've got for you. If you want to talk to me about video or any other area of the law, give me a call. I'd be happy to talk to you. And you have a great day.